If you want to hit six figures freelancing, the obstacle usually isn't effort. It's the things that feel like progress but aren't. Here are three things that quietly hold people back. The first one is working more hours. Sounds counterintuitive, but when income feels uncertain, the natural reaction in a freelancer is effort. So longer days, extra revisions, more polish, more time thinking about the work. And I'm talking here specifically about paid delivery work. So things like reading, learning, and building things for the future, that's different, and you should create time for that. What quietly caps people is stretching paid jobs far beyond what they need to be. Because once you give more time, you don't just complete it. You start protecting yourself with effort. You tweak details, fix tiny imperfections, and do things that the client never actually asked for. From the outside, that looks professional, but most of the time, it's just dead work. The client can't see it, they didn't request it, and it actually doesn't add value. So your time increases while your value per hour drops. And it actually, most of the time, makes the work worse as well. And here's the part that really matters. If you can't protect your time, you will always struggle to increase your income, because time is where your margin is created in freelancing. If you don't know where your hours are going, if you don't track them, if you don't work inside clear containers, then your days become scattered, and scattered days turn into scattered income. That's where feast and famine starts to show up. 1 month overwhelm, next month quiet, constant reacting. Working in constraints is a muscle that you need to flex. So finishing in 4 hours instead of 8, shipping at 80% instead of polishing to exhaustion, deciding when a job is good enough. That's an incredible skill in freelancing. And if you never train yourself that skill, you'll always rely on effort instead of leverage. Early on, more hours do help because you're learning and you can allow for that. But long term, the freelancers who grow are the ones who can compress time without compressing value. Income doesn't scale with chaos, it scales with controlled output. The second thing that won't get you to six figures is building a personal brand before you do real work. So logos, websites, positioning, content. It feels like you're earning legitimacy before asking to be paid. But clients don't buy brands, they buy proof. At the start, the only useful question is this: what is the lowest barrier to entry for me to get one real client? So for me, that was Upwork. For other people, I've seen it be Fiverr. For others, it's cold outreach on LinkedIn. So it's not impressive, but it's evidence and it's somewhere to start. And now, having got my first job on Upwork, I solved that real problem once. Now that becomes your first portfolio piece, and it becomes your first piece of information. You start learning from there. Then you get a second client and a third client and a fourth client, and your rates get slightly higher as well. Freelancers think the portfolio and the brand and the logo, the website all come first. But the truth is, the early clients create that because that's where you're getting your clarity. You don't become legitimate and then get clients. You get clients and then become legitimate. The third thing is trying to significantly improve the technical skill you already plan to charge for. You're already good enough at what you do. You wouldn't even be thinking about freelancing if you weren't. And once you start working, you'll naturally get better anyway. So spending months trying to level up the craft rarely changes income because freelancers don't usually stall at ability. They stall at behaviour. And here's the simple filter. The skill that feels comfortable are usually the ones that don't move your income. So if you're a video editor, you might be tempted to get better at color grading, transitions, plugins, advanced techniques, because that feels safe. The uncomfortable skills are actually the valuable ones. So calls, pricing, saying no, holding silence, clear communication, outreach, whatever it might be, that's the signal. Comfortable means you'll naturally improve just by doing the work. Uncomfortable means it's a professional skill you've been avoiding. So don't stack training onto the skill you already have. Diversify around it. Employees improve output. Freelancers improve operation. And that's what changes the numbers. So that's really it. 3 things. If you're stuck below where you think you should be, it's usually not because you're not good enough. It's because you're putting effort into the wrong places. So more hours on paid jobs, more polish, more preparation. When what actually moves the needle is control. Control your time, control your pricing, control how you operate. The goal is never to work harder, it's to get tighter. Tighter with hours, tighter with your scope, tighter with your decisions. That's what makes freelancing profitable, and that's what scales.